Okay, today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of the beginnings of our butterfly guard series. Okay, so let's start. All right, butterfly guard. The main thing is that this is going to be my butterfly hook. Okay, well, I can have two, but we're just going to talk about one. The main thing is that my toes are curled up and I'm connected to his thigh. And my foot is like a magnet. If he was to step his leg up, my foot stays with it. Okay, I don't keep my leg here. So it's a excuse me, it's a magnet. So he puts it back down. So in other words, return you. I don't put my foot on the mat here. I want to have my foot curled up. Okay? Now my other leg, what can I do with my other leg? I can either put it into his guard. Let me turn you a little bit. Turn more. And I can see how my toes are curled down. I can do this. What this does is kind of holds his foot in place. Now, if he really wanted to blast his leg straight, just blast your leg straight, he probably could. But at the same time, if I'm doing a good job, if he tries to blast his leg straight, I could keep it connected as well. I can do that. I can have it out. Or how I was first taught, keep rotating, is that I put my foot on the outside of his knee. So my foot here is on the outside of his knee, sorry, the outside of his knee. Okay, so I have my butterfly hook and I have my legs however you want. The other thing we talked about is you can decide on how you want your arms. Okay, so the first way is my underhook. And when I have my underhook, I want to be to the side. I don't want to necessarily be in front of the person because it's easier for them to bulldoze me down. Okay, underhook, overhook with the far collar grip. I can grab the collar without the overhook, or I can grab the belt. This is primarily good for distance control. He can't run away from me, and I can keep him connected to me. So, you know, watch that again so you decide when you were practicing, which makes you most comfortable, how you like to do this, because most of the techniques are going to be, you can do it from any leg or any upper body positioning. Now, I'm going to do most of the techniques with the underhook because that's what I feel most comfortable with. When I have the underhook or the overhook, or even the collar, it's ideal that I stay close to the person. With here, I want to be close to the person, but I won't really be able to get to his heart. Okay, because I want to hear like the heartbeat. That's how close I want to be. And I want my head under his. I don't want his head underneath mine and bulldozing me down. I want to be here. Okay? Now, the easiest one we talked about is if he puts his hand on my knee to kind of like pass, I can grab his hand. And look, the big detail here now is I don't drop to my back. In other words, I don't go like this to try and sweep him over, because see how long I am? I lose the leverage. What I like to think about is wherever my elbow is, okay, or wherever his hand was or whatever, or another thing is try and get your nose to his knee, because I want to be close to him. I want to be connected to him. So the other thing is, just posture up for a second. When I drop, I don't want to drop and look how my arm got longer. Okay? When I drop, everything is connected. The butterfly hook on my arm, look, when I drop, he just naturally comes with me, so I'm dropping my body weight. Look, see how he starts falling? And then the detail here, I don't know, you may have to move the camera around, is my bottom foot. My bottom foot does the sweeping. A lot of times what happens is people, they kick here and then the person just turns his hips under and then they're in the top weave. So I have to make sure that my bottom hook, my bottom foot is doing the sweeping, my top hook is just staying connected. So if he tries to turn his hips now, he can't. So look, I drive off my bottom leg, and then I can pass or end up in 3/4 mount or whatever, okay? So let's come back up here. So that's the basics, your arms, your legs, keeping your hook connected, not kicking them over. Once you get more comfortable and more experience, of course you can kick sometimes, but in the beginning it's important to learn to stay tight and keep that butterfly hook connected to their thigh and not kick. Now the other thing we talked about is, and we're just going to demonstrate this with both hands on the mat, when I put both of his hands on the mat, because sometimes when we go for the sweep, he pulls his hand out and then he can base his hand, okay, and then I need to be able to, or sometimes they base their leg, kick your leg out like this, and I need to be able to go underneath them. Now it wouldn't be like that, but that's just a general idea. So how we drilled this is I just pulled the person over me, okay, so that his head and his hands go over mine. So I go flat on my back as I pull him. So just to demonstrate a scenario, I pull him over me as I load him up like this. See, Now see how his legs and his hands are on the mat. What this drill was to help train us is to go inside the leg, look at my underhook, I bring my underhook and I frame so he can't drop his weight on me. And I just do like a turning motion, like a steering wheel turn, so that I make him look towards my, or I make him go towards my feet. So like this, okay? And then I put my back leg on top to serve as my butterfly hook. And then this is where we stop. Of course, keep losing this. Of course, when we're ready to go for our butterfly hook sweep, you know, we can grab the sleeve, we can just control the knee, and I stretch, come up on my elbow, bottom thigh, technical stand up, and then I'm here for my sweep. Okay, so that's the fundamentals of what we're gonna build on. Sweeping the person, if they post, understanding to be able to go under the person, and then you decide your hand position and your leg position, how you wanna play, and then we'll build up from there, okay?